Hey diver, welcome to day 6 of the Movement and Mind for Scuba Divers reset. I hope by this point, we're so close at the end of those 7 days, you're starting to feel a little bit happier in your body. And if you're not, then I would invite you to continue rediscovering these 7 days and adding them up to a number of 21. We all have heard about atomic habits. And before we jump into today, I would like to invite you to consider converting this little reset into a habit. And the 21 days seems to be the sweet spot. The reason I decided to do this challenge for 7 days is because 7 doesn't sound intimidating. It's a week of work. It's a small window of time. But it's a really easily repeatable pattern. I can slot these 7 days in a month, in a year, and I can have a good repetitive pattern. Now, we only see the benefits of things that come recurrently. So if I only do one thing once, I will be as good as someone who's done one thing once. If I want to see that there's a progression, I would need to do that one thing more than one time. So for today, we're going to be jumping into the final round of our body series before we jump into the mind tomorrow. And this final one is kind of the upper body, but like upper from shoulders and arms. Now, these guys, poor guys, they get all the time. We bring and grab and carry, and whether it's the weights, whether it's pre-organizing our dive location and like dragging all the equipment around, grabbing onto ropes, holding onto hooks, whatever it is, they're busy. But they're also busy in the daily life, and we know how much we use to type, to move, to grab things, to help each other. So in my case, I started my yoga journey a few years back, like I said, a couple of years back, and I started doing arm balances and inversion. And it was only that moment in which I realized how little, apart from all of the other parts of the body, how little strength I had in my upper arms and like my upper back and my shoulders, and how little flexibility. Now, this is a place to begin. So with that in mind, and all safety instructions as all other days, to be mindful about the movement that you do and to make sure that you've got your yoga mat or towel or any other tool that you will be using, I would like to invite you to come to a seated position, and we're going to start with a little moment of connecting to our breath. By this point, we already know the value of using our breath to connect our mind to our body. And I hope that you're able to, when distraction comes, you can just let it go. And you keep coming back to the count of the breath. In and out. In and out. And now that we come up to the upper part of the body, we're gonna start like always with our neck moves, but I want to invite you to keep your eyes closed and explore. This time, instead of shifting side to side, lift your head and neck towards the sky and roll them back. And imagine that you would like to eat from a honey pot, and like the spoon is just kind of grabbing the edges. And this is what's happening with your neck. It's just kind of rolling in all directions we normally don't roll it in. And then on your next inhale, swap direction and start slowly shifting your neck to the other side. On your next center, we're gonna roll our shoulders a little back. And a little forward. Amazing. We're going to continue with a bit of push through the shoulders forward. You might have heard eagle arms. By this point, as you can see, there's a lot of animal kingdom we've been learning from the outside world. So hopefully when you get into the water, you'll be like, oh yes, I know these animals, let's see, because they have their equivalents sometimes in the water. You're gonna find, butterfly fish, rabbit fish, dolphin, and that's exactly what we're headed at. But for the minute, let's go with eagle. We're gonna bring our arms, bring right arm in front of you and cross your left arm under it. Our objective here is gonna be to be able to bring, if we can, our palms together. If this is not a place where you're comfortable with, then you can just kind of try to grab them or place them side to side. But if you can, try to slot them in. Now, I'm going to try to move my arms away so that elevates my shoulders. And here, I can lift them up a little bit. And you're gonna notice the different locations of the stretch as you're inhaling and lifting your arms up. And you're exhaling and you're lowering your arms. Inhale them up. Exhale them to low. Oh, that's like great. If you've been carrying cylinders all day, great. And one more. And then let it go, shake it off. And we're gonna change the other side. So bring your left arm in front of you. Bring the right one under. One will feel weirder than the other one. And we're gonna try to squeeze it in towards us. And then we're gonna try to bring the palms together. Again, if this is not good, you can just keep them back to back. But here you're gonna start feeling, as soon as I've pulled in, you're gonna start feeling the stretch on the side of your shoulders. From here, we're gonna do the same. Inhale, raise your hands up. Exhale, bring them back to center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring them to center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to center. And one final one. And let it all go. We're gonna come back to something we did on day one. And we did a bit of warming up the fingers. Now, I do arm balances, and for those guys, we need lots of finger gripping, but we actually need a lot of forearm activation. So we're gonna bring our fingers to the front and we're gonna do the same like we did on day one. And we're just gonna try to shine a light. Imagine you're a boat and you're like, I need help. And we're now shining, or we're moving our fingers, opening and closing as if you want to spotlight. I've got all of the free divers just on the back, so I would imagine that I'm spotlighting them. Now you're going to start noticing the heat that comes as we do this. Stay with it. When your monkey mind tries to run away, don't let it go. I'm gonna stay here for another few breaths. Breathe into your forearms and let them down. Feel the difference between starting and finishing. And then we're going to do a couple of wrist warmers. We don't actually I had never done anything on my wrists until I started doing arm balances. It was just like, oh, there's wrists. Now, here you're gonna find out that there's different levels of comfort. If you find that by doing any wrist stretches or like movements, you're noticing a lot of wrist pain, you can use a little towel just under it, which will then reduce the angle at which your wrist is placed. If you're feeling good, let's come to a quick tabletop, and we're going to shift forward and back. We already know that guy. Connect to your breath. And on your next back, let go of your left arm, swap it. Let the palm look forward, and we're gonna continue with the shifts forward and back. Now, ideally, you're gonna engage your fingertips and you're gonna see that they're lifting up to hold you from going too far forward or too far back. For the minute, just do small little moves. Try to keep the heel of your hand on the floor, and when you feel like you've had enough on one side, just swap it, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. If you feel brave enough, then you can do both of them at the same time. If you're not feeling that brave, then I would suggest do this. Okay, here we go. From here, we're going to move, and we're gonna do the same thing, but this time we're gonna shift a little bit sideways. And then we're going to come back to a comfortable semi-standing position. Now, with our shoulders, there's a lot of, when we do cats and cows, we kind of push them away. And then there's one thing that we rarely do, which is we kind of, we move the tailbone, but we don't really do the opposite move of the shoulders. I can press them really firmly, or I can pinch them together. So we're going to do a few shoulder shrugs, and we're going to lift and press. And now imagine that as you've pressed, someone's put a pencil on your back, and you kind of want to grab it with your shoulders. And you're good. Okay. And your scapulars are now grabbing the pencil, and now I'm gonna push it back up. And then I'm gonna shrug it back down, and I'm gonna push it back up. And I'm not moving anything else. Like, my entire rest of the body is staying where it's supposed to be. And I go for another 3. And I go for another 2. And I go for another 1. And I let it go. Now we're going to go into one of my personal nemesis. When I started arm balances, it was the fun, not fun posture, which is really good for us, actually. It's called dolphin pose, so I hope you like dolphins. Who a diver doesn't like dolphins? How we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna be able to do a couple of variations. In case dolphin doesn't feel quite right, because my shoulders are like really tight, we're gonna be able to do it also in the more of a milder version as a puppy pose. Option 1, and if you're brave, if you're not brave, your choice. We're gonna lower our hands down, and we're going to start lifting the tailbone up, knees and hips in line. And we're gonna start walking our hands forward, pressing firmly on the ground. And I'm gonna try to bring my chest as close as I can to the floor. Now, this feels very much like a back bend. So now we're gonna try to tuck our pelvis and continue pressing down. If this feels good, which I doubt, then you can drop your hands completely. You can press into your feet, and you're gonna be able to lift the hips up. Now, I've got the same job from here. My job is going to be to walk my heels in while I am trying to push my chest through under my arms. And this is the lovely, lovely dolphin pose. Now, here, three things can happen. You might feel your shoulders dipping down. I am pressing the ground away and I'm pushing them back towards my heels. The second thing, and you're gonna see that my knees are bent. I don't have enough hamstring flexibility to be able to keep them straight. So in this case, for me to be able to walk it in and press my chest further down, I need to have a bit of a bend in my knees. And from here, we're gonna stay. I have my yoga instructor. I love her. She says no one died in dolphin pose. I don't guarantee this. But it's a really good shoulder opener. And it's only here where you realize that, oh God, I need to open those shoulders more. And if this sounds and feels like real deep torture, then you can always come back to your knees and push yourself through into a puppy pose. And if this also feels like a torture, just stay with it for another couple of breaths. And then you can press yourself back down, come into a child pose, and relax your shoulders. From here, we're gonna move into a couple of other variations of really easy shoulder opener exercises we don't even think about, but they're really, really useful. Like mentioned, no need to have any props that are necessarily yoga props. Obviously, we've all know that we can kind of do a little bit of move forward, move back. But for this to happen, I need to kind of be able to, not squeeze the arms in. I need to be able to extend them. So in this case, we start where we start. We can grab a rope, a towel, anything that you've got with you. And we're going to want to start first moving it upward with a straight arm and the shoulders, and we're gonna swipe it behind us. And if this feels easy and good, just bring your arms closer. Inhale, rise up, and then bring it back. Do it slowly. Feel the movement. And then as you do so, slowly, you're gonna start noticing the difference from beginning to end. You can also do the same thing, but instead of going forward and back, you can move sideways. And in this case, with the towel, I'm gonna need to make sure that I grab this before it slaps me in the face. So I can come from one side, open, back, the other side, open. And if one way goes, the other rolls. So if this feels good, now we're gonna go for the next. Now, as kids, we used to be able to, can you grab your arm and grab it at the back? Now, with the years of working on a computer, carrying cylinders and walking like this through life, very few people can actually go and grab one arm with an internal rotation on the back with the other arm. And as you can see, I'm just about catching it. In this case, if I want to be able to do, it's called cow face, another animal to add on to the list of the things that you've learned in a week, I can actually let my grab a towel or a strap or anything in my right hand, drop it behind me. Then I'm gonna come into a straight spine. I'm gonna roll the other hand on the back, and I can grab it just where I need it to be. The closer I can catch it, the more open I can be. Now, you can see that I'm actively pushing my shoulder back. And I'm grabbing the towel, slowly, 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 slowly bringing my arms together. Yeah? From here, we can stay for a few breaths and just relax into it. And then you can let go of the towel and see if you can actually grab any further from your shoulders. As any other thing, we're gonna do it on the other side. So again, drop the towel back, lift the shoulder back, lift it up, other arm, turn it upside down, AKA internal rotation, grab it from the back, and same job. I'm gonna keep all of my body parts in place. All I'm opening is shoulders. And again, breathe into your shoulders and see if you can start bringing together. Each side, one will be better, the other one will be stiffer. Work on both of them. And we release. You can let go of the towel. And then once we've done all of these joyful experiences, we're going to go into the final one. Now for this one, you're gonna need a little bit of either space or a wall. In this case, I don't have a physical wall, so I'm going to just move across this side. But I'm going to place my arms shoulder distance apart. And from here, I'm going to start leaning back and looking with my entire body, like my hips are shifting back. I'm looking in between or at the edge of my palms. My back keeps going straight. I keep coming up. And I exhale, come down. And I keep going for like 10. You're gonna notice slowly, slowly the expansion of the space in your shoulders. For this specific one, I would recommend stay for a few breaths, just lower down. As we come back, once we've completed a couple of rounds of pushing and bringing ourselves back up, we can now come back to a little relax. You're gonna notice that your shoulders, you're gonna feel them probably even tomorrow. Do this routine for a few times a week. You're gonna feel golden. Final thing before we close up for today and we go into our safety stuff mode is going to be one final shoulder opener. And as you can see, I'm very specific in shoulder opening because I have really tight shoulders. And in this case, we normally kind of roll to one side. This time we're gonna roll against our shoulder. So open your arms in a T shape. And we're gonna press with our right arm and we're gonna lift our right leg and we're gonna roll as if I want to stand onto that leg, and you're gonna find that your shoulder is below you. You can lower your head down. Enjoy a few moments of breath. And then switch it over. Again, change hands. Opposite hand goes up. And I switch to the side. And then we roll back up. Pancake yourself around. And from this point, you can expand the arms on a T. We're gonna bring the knees to the chest. Roll them to one side. Inhale back to the other. Inhale to center. Stay for a few moments, just thinking about all the work that you've done with your body over the last 6 days. because it is impressive. And when you look back, it's one of those things when you look on an open water course and you're like, oh my God, how many skills did I do in 3 days? Well, keep in mind that in less than 6 days, and when I say days, it's 20, 25 minutes a day, you've done more learning and exercise than you probably have ever thought you would need for scuba diving. Now, come back to the center. We're going to place the feet on the ground. We're going to press just for a moment into a bridge pose so we can do a little bit of lifting up of the hips. Lift up slowly. Remember, for bridge, I'm lifting by squeezing the glutes. So it's crazy how much you can learn and how in so little. I always used to say it to students, when you learn the beginning of scuba diving, it feels like a massive achievement in 3 days, from being a human on the surface to being a human underwater. So with anything, once you stick with it, it becomes easier. So let's roll back up. Come into a seated position, and let's jump into our safety stop time. I would like to invite you to, again, like always, close the practice with closing your eyes and reconnecting to your breath. Not only that, but I do invite you to think about the achievement of being here on day 6 and the amount of new little tips and tricks that you've learned. From here on, it's moving into day 7 and the mind. So my recommendation will be to just enjoy the feelings and sensations of the body and come very open-minded for our last session tomorrow. The word that I would like to invite you to consider for today is freedom. And the reason I say it is we've looked at all of the things and all of the core stabilities that we need for us to move through life and through dive. And we need to be stable, we need to be flexible, we need to be... Who says we need to? We're free to choose. You're free to choose whether you want to continue doing little bits of movement every day, and you're free to choose how you see the world. We have choice. So for me, working on arm balances and inversions and the moment in which the upper part of my body became as important as the lower part of the body, and realizing that even upside down, we can live upside down the same way we can live under the water, that there's possibility. So I decided to choose possibility. And I invite you to now decide on your word for today, but I hope you'll choose freedom or choice or both of them. Thank you for joining me on day 6, and I'll see you tomorrow at day 7.